What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. I am so bloody excited that this track has finally dropped. This is the 2015 MX of Nations track at Ernee in France, and a lot of you guys don't know this, but I quite often get asked what is my favourite track, and I can never give you an exact answer, but I know that in every game that I've played, whether it's an MXgp game, whether it's MX Simulator, ernee has always stood out to me as being one of my favourite ones to ride. And I think it's just due to the technical nature of it. Now, I'm just panning around here having a look at this track, and I think this is going to be incredibly challenging. This is released by Jesse Mulock, and he spent a hell of a lot of time on this, so I'm so excited that it's finally released. And he has gone out of his way to say in the description of this track that it is bloody difficult. It's not meant to be an easy track by any means. You're not going to be going around the entire track 4th and 5th gear wicked. There's some corners that you're literally going to be tiptoeing around, just trying not to fall out of the rut. I'm very excited for this, and I'm hoping I'm going to really enjoy it as well. Let's get into it. So, because I am a bit of a sucker for punishment, I thought, let's ride a 450 on a very tight and technical track. That won't go wrong at all. I see we've got lots of models dotted around all over the place here. We've got Fridge Dollar and Green Linux just there to my right, if you ever wanted to know what those two look like. Over here, directly in front of me, we've got Jams and Bishop. Some rather large shoes going on over here, but you know, we move. It's a vibe, and I'm so excited to try this out. God, this is going to be fun. Right, let's see how this goes. So, 2015 version of ernee. Now, I know some layouts of ernee. I don't know them all, so I'm just probably going to tiptoe around for the first lap or two and see what's what. I think in general ernee doesn't change too much in terms of its layout, does it? This here is always a roller, so I'm not going to launch this on lap 1. There we go, nice and easy. And yeah, I've been told that apparently this is quite a difficult track. Jesse himself said on Discord apparently it's 2nd gear simulator, so we'll see how that goes. And so far so good. It looks like in the corners there seems to be quite a difficult tight inside line, and it looks like if you want a bit of an easier life you can go around the outsides in the corners. What have we got going on down here? Another tight little rut. Oh, I've just noticed I haven't got my gear or my map overlay on. God damn it, 2 seconds. Okay, we back. Professional YouTuber here. Alright, let's keep going. Let's keep rocking with it. What have we got down on this hill? There's lots of different line selection, which is really nice. There's like 3 or 4 ruts in every corner. That uphill is incredibly rough. I imagine if you get a little bit carried away on the 450, you'll be toppling back down the hill. And how big's this tabletop at the end? Oh, not very. That's quite a small one. Then round to the right should be a drop off. Oh, I always forget that that's like a little triple step down rather than just a double. And then at the bottom is hill, and then usually we just get to open her up wide all the way to the top again. I feel like this bit of the track never changes, doesn't matter what year you're playing. Then round to the right, drop down here. Ah, the dreaded split section. Now, every time I've played this track on Sim, there's always been a way of kind of like jumping from inside to inside. That looks to be a little bit more challenging here. He's banked it up quite high, and with the MX Bike's physics when it comes to like short, steep sections, that might be a little bit on the difficult side. But that's it. That's a lap already, and I got around that a lot quicker than I thought I would. So let's see if we can get a little bit of pace going this time. See if we can get somewhat of a fastish lap on the go, and just kind of test the limits of this track a little bit, because I know it's one of them. It's kind of, I think it works in the same way as like Oz, for example, by JV, where it's hella difficult to get a fast lap down, but once you do, it's kind of like one of the most satisfying tracks to do it on. And I would probably go as far to say, just because I'm incredibly biased towards all ernee tracks, I have no idea why, it's just something that I developed over time, I will probably be spending quite a lot of time playing this track in the future, but I can't really say that right now, can I? I've done a lap and a half. Let's keep riding, let's see how it goes. I mean, so far so good. It doesn't feel anywhere near as challenging as he was saying in the description. There's a few tight insides. Let me try taking one of these ruts down here on the inside and see what that's like. You can see really having to be careful on the brakes down the hill, gently rolling on the throttle back up the hill so you don't loop out. What we like jumping around here. I'll jump around the corner. Can we double? No, we can kind of skim through them though. Let's see if I can hit this triple down the hill. Round and at the back brake. Lovely. Oh, thank God that the objects don't have collisions. Otherwise, I imagine this could be horrendously down bad. I just want to say that this looks beautiful, by the way. I know reshade helps everything all the time, but the amount of objects that he's got dotted around everywhere, and like custom buildings over here on the left, I'm guessing that's in ernee itself. And just looking across the map, it looks so good to look at. and very, very nice to see. There's a lot of like sponsor banners dotted around. It's nice that he's showing love to people and their kind of like virtual sponsorships or companies within the game. I've seen some MX Bike shop banners. I saw a CBM banner, which is always nice to see as well. Or always love seeing people paying respects to CBM. We've got some Ace Moto stuff. Oh, this track apparently, if you're watching this when it comes out, this will make sense. If you're watching this, if it randomly appears in your recommended a few weeks or a year after the fact, it won't make sense at all. But Ace Moto MotoGP series, that happens every Saturday. This is actually going to be the last round of it, round 12, which I'm super excited on. Now, I always find that the true test of some of these tracks is races, because some tracks, they ride absolutely amazingly in testing, but then when you get a full lineup on the gate, it can sometimes be a little bit of a different story. And with this being such a tight and twisty track, I think that the racing might be a little bit on the hectic side, but 100%, if I'm about, which I usually am, I don't have much of a social life anymore, yeah, but I will be 100% doing that race if I can do, because already I'm getting such a nice flowy feeling around here. And I think when I was making that comeback on the sim side of things, the RF version of ernee is one of the tracks I played the very, very most. I even done a video on that at some point as well. And again, that's one of my most favourite tracks in sim. And already, like, you can't see it because I've not got a face cam, but I got a massive smile on my face right now. And if you've made it to this far in the video, first of all, I just want to say thank you, because not everybody makes it past the first few minutes. So I've been paying attention recently in terms of video analytics to the viewer retention rate. Now, my sim video that went up yesterday had average watch time, that's average, of 10 minutes, which is absolutely insane for my videos. Usually they'll range from 3 minutes to 5. 10 minutes is absolutely nuts. So thank you everyone that watched that and hopefully enjoyed it as well. And now I want to ask a question, because usually the people that make it this far, they're the more dedicated viewers. You know, they kind of like anything that I put out, regardless of what it is, and they like the videos for me, which is really nice. So thank you very much. But I've been debating on Facecam for a while now. Now, I mentioned this on stream. I've done a stream last night, and it seemed to get like a 50-50 response. How much does Facecam impact your guys' viewing experience? Are you more likely to watch more of a person if you've got a face attached to them, or is their personality and voice just enough to carry it through? Because I always feel like me not doing face stuff does limit the channel's growth and the audience. I know it would help, but in the nicest way possible. Sometimes motocross game communities can be a little bit on the toxic side. Just one or two people, not everyone. I'm not trying to paint you all with the same brush, but people can be a little bit toxic. So I have no issue in appearance or anything like that. I'm more than happy with showing people what I look like. It's more people that I trust, people that I get along with really, really well. Because the last thing I want to happen is for people just to be arseholes and kind of Photoshop things all over the place. So what I'm really asking is, how important is Facecam to you? Do you think it'll make a difference to my videos? Do you think it's like a must-have at some point? And because it's something that for like the last month or so, I've been contemplating on my head on if I want to do it or not, and I'm still undecided. So I want a little bit of feedback, a little bit of opinion from you boys, and see what the general consensus is. If it's like a 50-50 split, then I probably won't bother, but if it's more overwhelming in one direction than the other, that's probably the decision that I'll probably go with. Now, also, I have a little bit of an announcement to make. I'll probably do a community post on it again at some point soon. But I've got a lovely little stream idea. So I probably don't play bikes as much as I should do in regards to trying to get fast enough to compete for championships and stuff. I'm kind of in that nice little above average ground, I would say, where I can compete for the occasional win. But most of the time nowadays, it's battling for a podium or a top 5, because there's a hell of a lot of fast people. So one way of me playing the game more, I've realised, is obviously doing public lobbies with you guys, but I want to do a long stream. Now, I can't do 24 hours because I live with family, and I would keep them up all night long if I was streaming for 24 hours straight. So, I mean, I could do 24 hours, I just have to wait for them all to go away on holiday or something like that. But another idea that I've got, which I showed off to my stream the other day, and they seemed okay with it, but I want everyone's opinion, because I know not everyone can stop by for streams. I managed to set up, kind of like a subathon on Twitch, but I've managed to set it up on YouTube that I can set a timer on my stream. Let's say I go live and that timer is an hour, and it'll count down to 0, and once it hits 0, it's done. So the stream will be a minimum of an hour. Every single dollar that gets donated to the stream adds a minute onto the timer. So basically I go as long as the donations go, in a sense. So the stream could be an hour, it could be 4 hours, it could be 8 hours, so on and so forth. Depends how much interest there is in it. Now, I don't know if that is a good idea or not. I need your guys' opinion on that. In my head, it works. I feel like there's got to be a limit at some point. I need to make a cut-off time at like maybe 10 hours if it would ever get that far. But I think it's a nice little stream idea to get a really long MX Bikes one, because I've never done it and I want to do it, and I feel like that could give me some sort of motivation. And I can see it either going two ways. One way is it's fine, you just get the normal hour of stream and that's it, we peace out, the timer counts down. The other way is I can see us getting down to like a minute or 30 seconds each time, and someone sending like $20 in and me having to go for another 20 minutes and be like, oh my god, here we go again. So I'm kind of excited for the idea, but I do want some other opinions before I kind of bring it to fruition. In my head, I'd like to do it on a weekend, so Saturday or Sunday. I again would need some opinions on what day would be best. The reason I would do it on a weekend and not a weekday is because then I think it gives like all of the different time zones a chance to pop in. So it gives both the American guys and the EU guys, and I mean, wherever it is in the world that you're from, it gives everyone a chance to stop by. Because I know a lot of my streams are quite tailored to the EU people. Times I do it at. But let me know down below. I'd be very, very interested to see everyone's opinions and maybe any suggestions you can give, or how I could improve upon that concept, really. As you can see, I've just been churning laps in the background. I'm thoroughly enjoying this track. This is really, really well made. I think he's done a very, very good job of this. And I know that Jesse's had his efforts kind of spread out throughout the last year with helping out with the ARL tracks. He's part of the ARL track crew. He mentioned something else, I can't remember it off the top of my head, which I really am sorry for. But he can finally be happy, because every track it seems I cover that he's helped work on, whether it's his Fernley sand tracks or some of the tracks that were in the desert section of the MX vs ATV Alive releases by Maplar, Jesse helped with a bit of that. I've always seemed to get lost for some reason on his tracks, but this one is a lot more it's a lot more one directional. There's not really any opportunity for me to get lost on this track, which I'm very happy for. The objects keep me all going in a straight line and in one direction. No pun there, please. And it's so good. Really, really good track. I would go as far to say, I don't know if I want to say my favourite track in the entire game already, because I've only run, what's this, I'm on lap 5, or no, I'm on lap 6 right now, but it's really not enough time to say. But this is, it's up there, like instantly, probably in the top 5, that's for sure. And you can see I think I'm on 2 erode at the moment, 2 deformation, and it's eroding really well too, which I don't think I've played a track yet that's had deep ruts as well as adding the deformation on top of that. So it's very interesting to see how this is going to form over a number of laps. But so far so good. It doesn't seem to be causing anything super sketchy. I don't think I've had any kind of weird and wonderful MX Bikes moments. I'm sure they'll come with time. I mean, every track has its moments, and you can never truly get away from the Poboso physics. But little tight insides like that, usually you'd expect your front end to be tuck in and you're doing barrel rolls and stuff. Let me try it again. This hill is probably the one that I think people have the most grief with, like really slow, steep uphill with bumps up it. But again, the bike's just tracking all the way up. And again, I thought I'd try doing it on a 450 just to really make it as difficult as possible, but it seems absolutely fine, as I completely wad myself. That inside rut and the second to inside rut there on this corner, I think they might be a little bit redundant. I can fully see the bike just exploding when you get into them. But in most other corners, there's multiple line choices. I'm very, very excited to try and do an actual race on this and try and have some battles with people. And it's nice having tracks that really make you slow down and think about what you're doing and try and make you ride smooth and steady, rather than just holding it wide open. There's a time and a place for holding it wide open, I can't lie. I do have a lot of fun playing tracks like Widowmaker or the new WW Ranch, for example, because you can just throw it flat over every single jump, you can go as fast as you want, and it really, really feels like you're moving. This is a different kind of enjoyment to me. This is more of a satisfying, precise type of track that I absolutely love. So thank you, Jesse, for daring to step outside of the usual box that gets made nowadays and making something a bit more challenging. And I know full well that there's going to be a massive audience out there of people that hate this, like actually hate it, for the sole reason that they can't get around it as fast as they would like to. And to them people, if you've played this track a little bit and you're getting frustrated with it or you don't like it, hang in there a little bit, give it a little bit more time. Don't try and go too fast around the track, kind of pick your way through, coast into some of the corners if you need to, rather than getting on the brakes heavy, and really try and roll on the throttle gently in the corners. And I think you'll surprise yourself, not only that you can go around the track like this well, But then that also translates over to every other track that you play. I feel like once you master the real difficult, technical, slow stuff in this game, everything else comes pretty easy. Unless it's sand. I hate sand at the moment. The sand traction's completely broken in my opinion. I want it to be a little bit more forgiving than it currently is. But it's all personal opinion. At the end of the day, I always encourage you guys to try and think for yourselves as well, and don't just take my word as gospel. Download the track, give it a go, let me know what you think. I'm loving it. I'm like McDonald's at this point. It's so good. I could go as far to say that it's the most technical track that we've got in MX bikes. There's some difficult ones out there, maybe like round 3 of the aerial series, Thunder Valley. That's quite a technical one, but it's a lot faster as well. I think in general it's easier to go around it fast than it is to go around this track fast. So maybe I am going to rank it up there. Maybe it is the most technical track in MX bikes. Who knows? That might be the video title. Maybe. That sounds like a good video title, actually. The most technical track in MX bikes. I think there you go. I've just made my life easier. Let me do that. I think that'll do it for me. I don't want to just keep spinning constant laps over and over and over again. You completely understand what the track's like, and I love it. I hope you guys too. If you've enjoyed this video, if you please could just drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new, I'd really, really appreciate it. I'm really pushing the channel and hopefully trying to get it around the 42,000-ish mark by the end of the year. I think that's a really good goal to aim for. And thank you all of you for all of the support recently. It's been really good and I appreciate every single one of you. Have a lovely rest of the day, wherever you guys are up to. I'm going to catch you in the next video. Peace.
Wanted to make it, I guess. You know I live with the criticisms. People are giving opinion, they put it upon a pedestal. A pendant for your thoughts, but I never asked for change. My work ethic's ridiculous and yours is not the same. I swear to God that I wrote it all with a pure intention. The truest testament with no excessive false aesthetics. You couldn't imagine or fathom the effort I'm exuding. My heart and soul in this shit, but yet they forced me to prove